He's free now. Sunday Jackson is free. This is a good one to use to wrap up the year, especially the fact that in the past few days we've seen a lot of sad and very bad news. But this story is one to which I would love to share. In March of this year, when I just really started this channel, I talked about Sunday Jackson, the farmer from Adamawa State that was literally on death row for trying to defend himself while being attacked by an herdsman on his own farm. In the process of being attacked by an herdsman, he unalived the herdsman while he himself was incapacitated. When he was taken to court, the judge told him that he should have run away. Meanwhile, this guy was literally stabbed during the process of the battle between him and the herdsman. But here is a quick recap for those who don't know the story. This man is currently on death row waiting to be hanged, and his crimes will absolutely shock you. In January of 2015, Sunday went to his farm, only to be met by a Fulani herdsman on his farm, with his cattle grazing on the farm. The name of the Fulani herdsman is called Buba Ado Bawuro. A furious Sunday, seeing Buba on his farm, confronted Buba on the farm, and then this led to a physical fight. As they were having their fight, the Fulani herdsman Buba brought out a knife, and as they continued to fight, Buba stabbed Sunday at the back and also stabbed Sunday on his leg. But as the fight ensued, Sunday was able to overpower Buba, and Sunday stabbed him 1, 2, 3 on his neck, and this eventually led to Buba's death, leaving him in the pool of his own blood. Sunday was later arrested on the count of murder and eventually tried in the High Court of Yola by a judge called Judge Fatima. This trial will last from February of 2020 up until August of 2020, and Sunday will insist on his statement that he did what he did as the act of self-defense and he only unalived Buba to protect his own life. The ruling was not given until February of 2021, exactly 167 days after the court hearing. Nigerian constitution states that no ruling should be passed after 90 days, but this one exceeded the timeline and was given 167 days after the court hearing. In this ruling, the judge gave Sunday Jackson a death penalty, stating that since he confessed to unaliving Buba, he must face the same fate. The judge also blamed Sunday Jackson for not using the option of fleeing the scene, but instead staying there and unaliving Buba. This totally disregarded the statement of Sunday Jackson, where he said that he was stabbed in the leg, which rendered him incapacitated and unable to flee the scene at a particular time. Sunday Jackson's lawyers saw that the ruling was unfair in the High Court of Yola, and they appealed to the Supreme Court to grant Sunday Jackson the right justice that he deserved. Apparently, the Supreme Court didn't attend to this case until December of 2024, and the verdict of this case was given recently, which still remained the death sentence by hanging of Sunday Jackson. Right now, many human rights associations, including the Christian Association of Nigeria (CAN), has called on the governor of Adamawa State to grant Sunday Jackson clemency because this is the only hope. If not, Sunday Jackson is on his way to be unalived. It's been 10 years since Sunday Jackson was put in prison, and it took them 6 years to give him his first ruling, and 4 years later, the Supreme Court now gave him the same ruling. Totaling 10 years since this guy has been in prison. Let's just hope that the right justice is given to Sunday Jackson, as this is a very, very sad case. As controversial as this case was, it became a popular story, attracting international activists like Riley Moore and other influential voices like Pastor Emmanuel Iren and also myself to talk about the story. And apparently our voices were heard. This is Riley Moore talking about the story in an American debate.
I would urge the Nigerian government to take a look at pardoning Sunday Jackson, who is an individual who was fighting for his own life, defending his life against one of these Fulani militants. That Fulani militant lost his life in that struggle, and now that person, Sunday Jackson, is facing the death penalty. Now, where's the justice in that? Where is the justice in that? So
apparently this Christmas week, Sunday Jackson actually got pardoned by the governor of Adamawa State. And this is actually good news because he had stayed in prison for 10 years while awaiting death row. And to be honest, he didn't even deserve to stay in prison that long because what he did was self-defense without any premeditated intention to unalive the herdsman. We can't overlook the fact that this pardon came as a result of the international influence and the international eyes on Nigeria at this time. If Riley Moore, the American activist, hadn't talked about the situation on international grounds and brought it during this case where Nigeria and US are discussing the whole genocidal attacks in Nigeria, this case would have been one that would be swept under the carpet, and maybe now Sunday Jackson will still be in death row, awaiting to be unalived. Now, Sunday Jackson's case is just one out of many cases in Nigeria that have been put illegally in prisons. There are so many people in prisons that what they are suffering is not on par with the crimes that they committed. Now, this Sunday Jackson situation brings the discussion about how many people are jailed illegally and people that have been incarcerated for little crimes or no crimes at all in the Nigerian prisons. Sunday Jackson is just, let me just say, he's blessed because his case got international ears and it influenced the decision for him to get pardoned. After a lot of people spoke about it for years, You can imagine somebody being in jail for over 7 years before he was eventually sentenced. And even when he was sentenced, he was given a penalty that didn't match his crime. Now you can imagine the loopholes in the judicial system where people can go to jail and people can even be put on death row for crimes that don't match the penalty. So now that we celebrate Sunday Jackson and the fact that he's finally free, we need to also show concerns to the loophole in the Nigerian judicial system.